Anyone can get lucky, but staying wealthy? That takes skill. These 16 lottery winners didn't waste their fortune. They invested, built businesses. Here's how they turned luck into long-term success and why they're still rich years later. Stay tuned. Number 16. Neal Wanless, the Cowboy Millionaire. In 2009, a broke rancher from South Dakota named Neal Wanless bought a Powerball ticket with his last few dollars. Days later, his life flipped overnight. He'd just won $232 million. But instead of luxury cars or private jets, Neal did something no one expected. He bought 50,000 acres of rugged land, transforming it into a working cattle ranch, now worth over $40 million. While most winners chase fame, Neal kept his boots in the dirt, managing the land himself and turning luck into legacy. He's proof that discipline, not desire, keeps fortune alive. But while Neal built wealth through hard work, another winner found success in a completely different way. Number 15. Robert Salo, the steady investor. When Robert Salo scratched his ticket in 2012, it didn't scream millionaire. He'd won $1,000 a week for life, a slow burn compared to the flash of lump sum jackpots. But Robert didn't waste a single cent. Instead, he used his winnings to fund his college education, becoming an electrical engineer and securing a career that guaranteed income long after the checks stopped coming. While others blew through fortunes, Robert built one the smart way, through knowledge. His story proves that steady growth can outlast instant gratification. He turned luck into a lifelong safety net. And what came next shows how one man used his jackpot to build an empire from scratch. Number 14. Jason Fry, the business builder. When Jason Fry hit the $47 million Florida lottery in 2007, he could have lived the dream life, mansions, parties, and fame. But Jason had other plans. Taking the $14 million cash option, he bought a golf driving range, turning it into a business that now earns hundreds of thousands every year. Then he expanded again, opening 4 Batteries Plus franchises across Florida. What started as a lucky win became a network of thriving businesses that keep growing even today. Jason didn't rely on luck to stay rich. He built a system that worked for him. But not everyone's story begins and ends with one ticket. One man couldn't stop winning. Number 13. Richard Lustig, the repeat winner. Most people dream of winning the lottery once. Richard Lustig did it 7 times. Between 1993 and 2010, he claimed over $1 million in total winnings, sparking rumors that he'd cracked the system. But Richard didn't stop there. He turned his strategy into a best-selling book, Learn How to Increase Your Chances of Winning the Lottery, creating a second fortune from his fame. Critics called it luck, but Richard called it persistence, and he proved that success favors those who study it. His story became a legend among lottery players, earning him fame, fortune, and followers. Yet while Richard built an empire from luck, another winner's fortune began from pure survival. Number 12. Mofijul Rahima Sheikh, the life changer. For Mofijul Rahima Sheikh, a construction worker earning barely enough to survive, the lottery wasn't just a dream, it was escape. When he won 10 million rupees, around $150,000, it didn't make headlines worldwide, but it changed everything. Instead of wasting it, Mofijul bought a house for his family and invested the rest carefully, freeing himself from grueling labor forever. No designer cars, no flashy lifestyle, just stability, dignity, and peace. His win wasn't about greed, it was about freedom. Today, he lives comfortably, proof that even a modest jackpot can rewrite destiny. But while Mofijul sought security, the next winners used their millions to quietly build an empire hidden behind closed doors. Number 11. John and Lisa Robinson, the real estate power couple. In 2016, John and Lisa Robinson shocked America when they stepped forward to claim $327.8 million in the Powerball. Overnight, they were surrounded by cameras, headlines and offers, but instead of chasing fame, they disappeared. The couple invested in real estate, buying a stunning $6.2 million lakeside estate in Tennessee and several other quiet properties. They kept their circles small, avoided lavish spending, and focused on turning their land into long-term wealth. No reality shows, no drama, just smart moves and privacy. While most lottery stories end in chaos, theirs became a blueprint for balance and control. Yet their quiet fortune couldn't compare to the woman who turned her winnings into a booming farm business. Number 10. Sue Herdman, the farmer millionaire. When Sue Herdman won £1.2 million in the UK lottery, she didn't rush to luxury. A former hairdresser with a knack for hard work, she invested her winnings in something unexpected, a pig farm. Today, that farm houses over 7,000 pigs, producing nearly 1,000 piglets every week and generating steady income year after year. Sue traded salon scissors for muddy boots, building a business that feeds her family and her fortune. Her story proves that real wealth isn't always glamorous. Sometimes it's grounded in grit. While others chased the spotlight, Sue built an empire from the soil beneath her feet. But not every winner found success through farming. One man turned his prize into a global franchise. Number 9. Yancy Hicks, the franchise owner. When Yancy Hicks won $1 million, he didn't see it as an escape, he saw it as a beginning. Instead of retiring early, Yancy invested his winnings into a Subway restaurant franchise, stepping into the world of business ownership. It wasn't instant profit, but through dedication and smart management, his restaurant grew into a consistent, profitable source of income. While many winners fade into bankruptcy, Yancy's story stands out as a model of discipline and foresight. He turned a one-time jackpot into a lasting paycheck, proof that steady income beats sudden splurges every time. But while Yancy built his fortune through food, another winner found lifelong success by going into business with his family. Number 8. Mark Brudenell, the family businessman. Back in 1997, Mark Brudenell and his wife hit the jackpot, winning £900,000. Not the biggest prize, but enough to change everything. Instead of splurging, they rolled up their sleeves and started a double-glazing business, combining his experience as a driver with her managerial skills. What began as a small local venture grew into a thriving company that ran successfully for over 13 years. Their steady income, family teamwork, and smart investments kept them comfortable long after the headlines faded. Mark didn't just win money, he built momentum. The couple still enjoy their success today, living proof that smart work can turn luck into legacy. But the next story isn't about business, it's about wisdom beyond age. Number 7. Tim Schultz, the wise investor. At just 21 years old, Tim Schultz's life changed overnight when he won $28 million in the Powerball. Most people that young would have gone on a wild spending spree, but Tim didn't. Instead, he met with financial advisors, invested in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds, and built a disciplined budget he still follows today. He learned early that money can vanish faster than it arrives, and that patience builds more than luck ever could. Decades later, Tim remains wealthy, grounded, and grateful. Proof that wisdom isn't measured by age, but by choices. While he chose quiet growth, the next winner made headlines for landing one of the biggest jackpots in history. Number 6. Edwin Castro, the billion-dollar winner. In 2022, Edwin Castro's life changed with a single ticket, the one that won $2.04 billion, the largest Powerball jackpot in history. Overnight, he became a billionaire. But instead of wasting his fortune, Edwin invested it. He bought multiple luxury mansions across California, added vintage cars to his collection, and started flipping properties for profit. Each move was strategic, turning fame into financial growth. While many billion-dollar winners vanish into extravagance, Edwin built a real estate empire that keeps expanding. His low-profile lifestyle keeps curiosity high and critics guessing. He didn't just win, he played the long game. But Edwin wasn't the first to outsmart the odds. One man actually cracked the system itself. Number 5. Stefan Mandel, the lottery hacker. Decades before modern jackpots made headlines, Stefan Mandel was quietly rewriting lottery history. A mathematician from Romania, he didn't rely on luck, he relied on logic. By using a complex formula to calculate every possible number combination, Stefan legally won over a dozen lotteries, including one worth $27 million. His method became legendary, a mix of brilliance, audacity, and timing. But after years of wins, authorities tightened the rules, ending his run of domination. Still, Stefan walked away with millions and a life of freedom under the sun in Australia. He didn't just beat the odds, he broke them. Number 4. Joan Ginther, the Mathematician. Between 1993 and 2010, Joan Ginther won the lottery not once, but 4 separate times, totaling over $20 million. A former math professor with a PhD in statistics, she became a mystery to the public. Some said it was luck, others whispered it was calculation. Her uncanny pattern of wins in Texas fueled endless speculation, yet Joan never explained how she did it. Instead, she quietly relocated to Las Vegas, living comfortably while managing her fortune far from the spotlight. Whether genius or coincidence, her story remains one of the most puzzling in lottery history. But while Joan's brilliance kept her wealthy, another winner's legacy wasn't just about herself. It was about securing her family's future forever. Number 3. Louise White, the legacy builder. In 2012, Louise White, then in her 80s, bought a Powerball ticket that would change her family's destiny. A staggering $210 million win. But instead of indulgence, Louise thought long-term. She created the Rainbow Sherbet Trust, named after the dessert she ate the night she bought the ticket, ensuring her family would be financially protected for generations. While others flaunted their wealth, Louise stayed in her modest home, living quietly and content. Her story isn't about luxury, it's about love, planning, and legacy. Through wisdom and restraint, she turned fortune into family security. Yet while Louise built her dynasty through trust, the next winner poured his millions into something far more spirited. Number 2. Peter Lavery, the whiskey investor. In 1996, Peter Lavery, a bus driver from Northern Ireland, became an overnight millionaire after winning £10.2 million. But instead of letting the money sit idle, he poured it, quite literally, into whiskey. Partnering with Cooley Whiskey Distillery, he helped launch the Danny Boy brand, blending business with Irish tradition. Peter didn't stop there. He invested in over 30 properties, turning his winnings into a thriving real estate portfolio that's now worth far more than his original jackpot. His empire was built on patience, pride, and pure strategy, a toast to long-term vision. But while Peter's fortune matured like fine whiskey, the next winner chose silence over spotlight, quietly growing his wealth behind closed doors. Number 1. Manuel Franco, the quiet millionaire. In 2019, Manuel Franco, a young man from Wisconsin, stunned the nation when he claimed a $768 million Powerball jackpot. Overnight, he became one of the youngest mega-millionaires in U.S. history. But unlike many before him, Manuel vanished from public view almost immediately. No lavish spending sprees, no flashy headlines, just quiet, careful investing. He placed his money in private ventures and long-term assets, ensuring that his wealth wouldn't fade with time. His low profile only deepened the mystery, turning him into a legend of quiet success. While others sought fame, Manuel sought freedom and found it. Because in the end, staying rich isn't about luck, it's about what you do when the cameras stop rolling. In conclusion, luck can make you rich, but only wisdom can keep you there. These 16 people didn't just win money, they mastered it. They invested and stayed grounded when the spotlight faded. If you enjoyed these real lottery stories, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Stay curious, stay inspired.